Say I just heard about a show.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Where the independent artists go.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Niecy got a new EP.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Stephanie's doing comedy.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
That girl from LA and
that guy Let's talk about it, talk about it.
And now your host of Let's Talk About It, Raheem Mitchell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Let's talk about it. I am your host, Raheem Mitchell. I have today Kevin Davis, the Marino Comedy, sitting in. Today on the show, I have one of the coolest comedians I've ever worked with. He hosts his own show once a month on Thursday night at the Green Tree Inn in Victorville. His television appearances include Laugh on Fox, his movie credits, Cheaper to Keep Her, and streaming on Amazon Prime, The Date. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. J.T. Turner.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate being here, man. I'm ready to talk about it, so I'm excited to be here today.
All right. So, when you're at home,
Yes.
when you're at home relaxing, what comedians do you normally like watching?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Like sometimes when I'm at home relaxing, I'm like relaxing.
Right.
But some favorite comedians that I don't mind watching now is, I'm kind of an old school guy.
Right.
Of course, I like Chappelle. I like a lot of people streaming on Netflix right now. Deion Cole. Yeah. But my favorite guy. Of all time,
Yes.
is Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Hands down, that's my guy.
You okay? Okay.
Yeah, Martin. He's the one that brought me into this atmosphere of me saying I want to be funny and make people laugh. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay, so can you please share with us your first time on stage? How much time do you do?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna be honest. The very first time I've ever did comedy, it was at a high school talent show.
Okay.
I was presented like, hey, do a talent. And I'm like, I didn't really know. Everybody knew me from being like the jokester. So I had a high school talent show. I entered it. I did comedy. People were laughing, but I sucked. It was terrible. And I don't mind admitting that, right? So
Right.
I was terrible, but I kind of liked it. But the first time I ever really did it like on a professional level, it was a comedian named Scotty Fig. He gave me some time, and he was like, all right, man, do like 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll do 5 minutes. Man, that 5 minutes felt like 5 days. Bruh, I was up there, beads of sweat was coming down my face, and I was like, is it? And then he looked at me, and he was like, and I didn't know what this meant. I thought he was saying, you killing them, you killing them.
Right, because he's chopping off the neck.
Yeah, he's chopping off the neck. He's like, you killing them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm killing them mentally. But I was like, this is the longest death I've ever had in my life, right? So that was kind of like the first time. That was years ago. So that was probably like, I'm in the game. It's probably like, I'll say about 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So.
What about you, Mr. Davis?
You know, I know Scott Fig.
Yes,
I
man.
know
He
Fig.
was one of the He was one of the cats that I can remember right offhand that I got some stage time from. So
Scott's up in the Barstow area.
yeah, he's in there. He's in
yeah.
there.
He's a Marine. That's
He's
how
a
I know
Marine,
Scott.
yeah,
He's a
Marine.
So I know he sent you out to your death.
Yes.
I know Scott Fig. He gonna teach you trial by fire. He ain't gonna just let you walk out there and make it easy.
I didn't have no routine.
Nothing.
No.
And then when you got done, he probably taught you that you need a routine.
Right, but then as I grown, and then now I see he's still doing his same routine. So I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. No, I'm just kidding. But no, anyways, go ahead. When you did your first one.
Oh no, my first. Man, I think it was at the Hollywood Improv, so I was kind of spoiled. So the crowd, like when you start in a place like that, it's really a false conception of comedy. Yeah. Because the people are there to laugh. Unless you just walk out there and pass out, you at least gonna be something funny. So you leave there thinking you did much better than you did. Because later on, as you look at that video, yeah, I pretty much sucked too. I
still have some tapes, bro. I have tapes from like 10, 15 years ago. Not DVDs like him.
Right.
But I have some tapes from so long ago, and I have ran into them. And I still have a DVD player. And I looked at it and I said, holy crap. Yeah. I was not funny, bro. No. But you got your family and your friends. Yeah, and everybody like, go. Go. But what I did see is I seen hints of where I could be funny. You know what I mean? Where sometimes you do shows back in the days, and I remember everything. So and then you would question yourself more than yourself, because I question myself a lot now anyway. By the way, but I saw things and I was like, oh man, I can be funny. You know what I mean? And man, I got a crazy Steve Harvey story.
Okay,
if I could tell it.
Go ahead.
Man, so
I got one too.
oh yeah. So back in the days, and not too many people know this one. So back in the days, Steve Harvey and J. Anthony Brown used to host a show called it was at the El Rey, and it was kind of like an Apollo theme, right?
I remember that, yes.
You come on. So anyways, I called the radio station to get on. They said, tell us a joke off the air. I told them something. They were laughing. They were like, hey, we want to put you on. I'm going to fast forward. So long story, so I get on the show.
Right.
And then it was only like 2 comics on the show, right?
Right.
And because it was a variety show, so I was one of the comedians. So anyways, the first comedian went up. I don't know what his name was. Mm-hmm. But this is Steve, when he introduced him, he was like, come on to the stage. This is my homie, this dude is hilarious. Gave him this crazy intro. And I was like, dang, who am I about to go up against, right? So the guy performs, and he's telling these like real cheesy jokes. He even said the joke where, I don't know if you guys remember, like when they say the cheese roll down and you grab it, he was like nacho cheese.
Yeah.
I swear, I heard him say that, and I was like, oh, I'm about to kill.
Right.
So, well, not kill, but I'm going to win. I'm going to beat him today, right? So it was my turn next, and God is my witness, and Steve Harvey would probably deny this because this happened so long ago. He says, all right, back in the days, for those that didn't know, a lot of people, I went by JT Smooth. That was like my football name in high school, so I went with that nickname. JT Smooth was my stage name. Right. So this is how he introduced me. This is God is my witness. He was like, all right, coming to the stage, I've never seen this guy before. I don't know if he's funny or nothing, but we'll see. It's J.T. S'more or something? S'more? So I step out on the stage, and the crowd was already like, okay.
Yeah, he set you up.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like a crazy intro. So I get out there, and then the minute I grabbed the mic, and I was like, what's up, L.A.? And they was like, yeah. Right, I was like, yeah, okay, the war, and the minute I said my joke, I don't know what I was saying, I can't remember, and they were like, boo, boo. Bro, the boos hit me so bad. I had hair at the time. It was leaning to the side, you understand what I'm saying? It was like after I was done, I put my hair in a ponytail. That's how bad it was. But anyways, so they were booing, and at the El Rey, if you get booed, you don't go backstage. You have to leave the stage and walk in front of the crowd.
Oh,
bro.
you gotta do the purple walk.
I had to do the purple walk. So I had one friend that was with me, and when I got off stage, he was he was like, "Dang, man." And I honestly, but even though I'm talking about Steve's introduction, I actually went home and I looked and I said, "It's either you continue or you stop."
Right there. That was it.
That was the point.
That was the defining point for you.
And I said, no, I got something to prove.
Right.
And I just kept with it, man. Kept. And now it's just there. But that was a very pivotal moment in my career, bro.
I think in our comedy world, when we fail is when we're at our best. Because you got to fail to figure this game out.
Man,
and my Waterloo was Barstow.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, bro.
What happened?
With Scott Fig.
Oh, man, we bringing him up again.
Yeah, we was in we all went to Barstow. Right. And I was pretty confident, you know what I mean? And I get up there on stage, man, and I had all these jokes I wrote, but I did not know if you're not from that city, they look at you differently. So Scott Fig got it before me, and he's from Barstow. So he told all these jokes, and they was cracking up about Barstow. So I get up to Barstow, and I told the one joke. I said, man, you guys are in a great location. You're 150 miles from L.A., 150 miles from Vegas, and 3 degrees from hell. Right? And, man, they was like, you get their butt cheeks saying right?
Who is that
guy? Raheem's on the side doing like this, right?
He give you the chop,
he give me, but I'm still going. I'm going hard. Next thing I know, man, the dude started harassing me. Remember the dude in the front with the tight pants? Oh. It just got ugly.
He said the dude with the tight pants.
But my best jokes that I ever wrote, my career changed that day, and I never forget it because the guy's cousin came up to me after the show, and he was trying to tell me that I need to understand the audience. I need to understand Barstow.
Gotcha.
But the way he was dressed and the way he talked, it made me laugh the whole time. So as he's standing in front of me, because he had on a black velour Sean John running suit, some hard brown church shoes, and a beige FUBU mock turtleneck.
Hey, player.
Right? It was July, you know what I'm saying? So while he's talking to me, I'm trying to take him serious, but I can't because I'm laughing inside. And he was like, Pimpin', you need to understand your audience. You need to understand Boston.
Hold my teeth.
He had a shag. He had a shag and a flip phone. You know what I'm saying? But my career, that day, I remember driving home.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop writing. I was studying. I remember I was just writing. I just kept writing because everything that happened, I remembered it.
Yeah.
And it was funny to me. And I said, that failure was the difference in when I changed my comedy. My comedy changed just like you.
Yeah.
It changed that day.
Yeah.
It absolutely changed that day. I feel you.
I definitely believe failure is evident. I mean, you're gonna have to fail, but that's any position in your life. You know what I mean? Like even when we're dealing with our kids and things of that nature, I always tell them a failure is a learning process.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we all have to fail. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you said.
Oh, okay, cool. You know,
good?
failure. I start feeling like a motivational speaker. I was like, failure? Okay, great. Now you need to understand. You know.
Buy my tape.
Buy my tape. Order now, $39.99. Tape of failure.
This is a big question for both of you guys.
All right.
Okay. When you're on stage and you encounter a heckler, how do you handle that?
You want me to lead off? You want me to lead off?
Me.
Well, it is my show. All right, today it's my day.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's your day. Go ahead.
I support.
You know how I do? For a lot of people that know me now, they know that I'm like known for crowd work.
Right.
So I love to be in the crowd. I love the creativity of creating a joke on the spot.
Yes.
And like the crowd work that I do though is not I don't demean people. I actually make them not laugh, be the one feeling they're laughed at. I want them to laugh at the whole. I want them to be laughing too, but they're in the joke. So back to the heckler thing. I've had a couple of hecklers before. This has always been my philosophy when you do crowd work, because a lot of people don't per se know how to do crowd work.
Right.
You have to let the audience win sometimes. And what that means is when you see it going not your way, because every crowd member, they're not going to like crowd work, or they don't want to be a part of it. So you have to detach them from that joke, or you have to empower them with a joke. Like if I'm talking to a guy like, and I'm like, hey, how you doing?
I'm the guy. Oh, get off the stage. Boo, boo, boo. You ball hammer, got it too.
Right. See, so I've never had that happen. You went to the front, so guy pulled a gun out, and he had a machine gun. He about to take you out. What would you do? I would run. I would basically run. So that's never happened. But if someone's, if it's a standard heckler, you know what? It's kind of funny, man. Like I said, I've never had that happen. But if it's a standard heckler, I already have everybody on my side. See, in order to do crowd work, people have to be on your side. Right. Like you can't go up there and be a jerk and do crowd work. And you have to have a likable ability where people are entrusting you when you say jokes about them. It's a very hard art to understand, but I understand it now. When I come out, I'm not like, look at this guy. What are you doing? Look at you. It's not negative. It's like, how you doing? Cool. You good? All right. Is that your girl? Good job. You got great taste. So right now, he's involved in my joke because I've given him a compliment about his girl. Yeah. So now he feels like, yeah, my girl is looking. And then it's like, oh, yeah, nice. Well, how did you get her? And then it's like, oh, okay. He's like, oh, there you go. You know what I mean? So I gave him a little bit. Right. The crowd feels like, oh, that guy's pulled a beautiful woman. He's the man. Right. And then I could take a little bit back and say, oh, well, how did you get her? And things of that nature. So I'm going to write a book about crowd work.
Let's do it.
I've watched JT do crowd work, right? JT is probably the most talented person I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
This is real. In crowd work. I watched, he asked me to videotape me one day at the show we did. So I'm just sitting there in awe because I watched him do material. He did a 30-minute set. He may have done 2 jokes that he did. The rest of the time was 28 minutes of him on the spot telling jokes about the people, and they ate it up. Exactly what you said. It's making them feel like they're part of the show. Right. Because a lot of times the people who are heckling you are not really trying to be negative. They think they're helping. Sometimes they do. I've got some great tags from people hollering out stuff.
Right.
But I think the pace of your comedy eliminates a lot of heckling.
Right.
If you're funny consistently, they don't have time to heck you. And if they do, the crowd's like, look, man, let
We
this
ain't
dude tell
having
his jokes.
Yeah, no doubt,
Because
no
he's
doubt.
funny. Now, if you ain't funny, you may encounter a whole bunch of heckling.
Yes.
But when you're funny, I don't think, I haven't had to deal with a whole lot of that. Like I said, I learned a lot from Barstow, but since then, it's been far and few between.
Right.
But you load yourself up with some ammunition, some
no doubt.
standard things to come back with people, it's easy.
Right.
But I've been trying to focus on what you've been doing and doing crowd work before I start my set. I realized I learned something from D. Militant.
Okay.
He said, you look at comedy, like your set is balloons. They're over the top of your head. All your jokes are floating on top of your head. You don't even need to hit them balloons until you stop talking. Because you should be able to talk. Good, take that. You should be able to talk because you're a comedian. You should be able to walk in a room and see
Jokes
young
just
people.
sitting
You
there.
see jokes all over the place. You should be able to talk about that and be funny.
Right.
And then when you run out of that,
Go
hit
back
that
to the
balloon.
jokes.
Go back to
Go
yourself.
back to your routine.
Go back to, and that's what I've been practicing, and it works. It absolutely, especially with let's say a black audience.
Right.
Okay.
Because they don't have the patience. They're not going to wait for you to set up, punch, tag, tag, tag.
Right.
They want to hear the joke in the delivery. You know, am I right?
Yeah.
It's a different world. So you have to learn to do that.
Yeah, you do, and it's anything the elephant out of the room. So, when you walk in here, like even no disrespect, like even when I walked in here, I saw some things that would be hilarious if I was doing comedy. Like anywhere I go, I find the joke in a place. And the thing about a comedian is, this is when you engage with the crowd, they begin to understand. The crazy thing about it is, the things that this is when you know you get them. When it's relatability and they're already thinking something that you're saying. Right. Meaning if I talk about, oh, look at this place here, and half the crowd is rolling because they've already looked and they've already thought. So we become the voice
Of what they wanted.
of they wanted to say, but
Right.
they're not the comedian, so they can't say it. And when you
Exactly.
say it, they're like, oh my God, he is not lying. I was just thinking that. I'm looking like, are these lights about to fall right now? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they say that. So there's a lot of things in comedy that I learn every day. But something that the distinction from me of doing so much crowd work is, and honest to God truth, first of all, it's very natural for me. I love the challenge of it, but being in this comedy game, there's so many different styles. Like some people have instruments, some people they bring bags and they bring whatever it is. However you're funny, I'm down with that because I think all of it's funny. But for me, it was like I want to separate myself a little bit because there is comedians that do crowd work, but I want to separate myself a little bit. But also, it's this fight of everyone saying, and it happened today. Everyone saying, hey, I got a bit like that, or hey, I heard something like that. Hey, like those things for me, I'm like, I want to distance myself as much from that, as I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not the best, and I'll be honest, I'm not the best writer in the world. My comedy is basically entertainment. You know what I mean? I'm an entertainer,
Right.
and my focus is to make people come out and have a good time. You know what I mean? And people say, hey, man, I had a great time. And then when people say, hey, oh my God, thank you so much. It's so funny now. Sometimes I go to show, somebody come up to me, but hey, JT, can I talk to you? I said, what's up? He said, hey, that's my boss in the front row. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's $20. Roast his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, really? 50 will do it. 50 will do it, not the 20.
But see, you said something unique right there, brother. That's why you have this title, host liner.
Yeah.
Nobody else I've ever heard anybody use that, and I had to watch you to understand why you the host liner. So where did that actually come from?
That's the
Man,
question.
where
did that come
I'm
from?
going to tell you 100.
100.
The tag host liner cost me $1.
Really?
Yes. So I was doing a show. I was doing great and doing host work, right? Crowd work we call it. But I host a show, so I'm hosting, but I'm really doing comedy as well, right?
Right.
And so I got off the stage. I didn't know you didn't know this.
I didn't know this one.
Sam Ridley
Okay.
came up to me and was like, man, you be hosting it, man, and you like a headliner. He was like, man, you a host liner.
Right.
Bro.
Right there.
Right there. I said, hey. I said, I like that. He said, you can have it. I said, no, I can't have it. How much does it cost you for you to let me have that? And he was like, give me $1. My man.
What a
He was
story.
like, I gave him $1, and from then on, I don't even think he even tells anybody that story.
No, he doesn't. And I was just with Sam Monday night.
Yeah.
In Lancaster.
Oh, yeah. How was that
with
show?
Booth Jingles.
We'll talk about that later.
Hit or miss.
It's okay.
That's our life.
Ah.
But no, I always enjoyed you with that because nobody fits that like you fit that.
Man, that's a
Nobody
blessing.
hosts and headlines at the same time like you do.
Man.
Nobody does it that way. But if anybody ever goes to Victorville and sits in your room, they're going to say, wait a minute, is he the host or is he the headliner?
Man.
Because they're going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Because that's the material he does. You know what I mean?
That's the only place I can actually
Get
that's
away
the only
with
place
it.
I can actually get away with that. Like
Right.
host lining, when I go do shows, or even if I'm, at the improvs and I'm actually the host, I still have to stay in the lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't go too far because there is a headliner and there is, things of that nature. So even when I headline, man, I incorporate crowd work as well, depending on where I'm at, but not too much,
But let me ask you a question. When you have that type of talent, and Raheem, when we get booked to be an open or a feature or a headliner, how do you adjust your set to fit into that slot?
Man, that's funny. So I just was in Tommy T's.
Okay.
And I was in a position that I'm not used to being in.
First?
Yes. Yes. So they had a host.
The bullet.
No. They didn't know. See, they didn't know you.
No. It was with Speedy. They know.
But they don't.
Yeah.
Know you from comedy. They know you from
Right.
sitting on the radio doing what you do.
Right.
So-
Well, me and Speedy have done plenty of shows prior.
Okay.
So we've done. So he knows the caliber. But for me, it's like I'm very humble. Like I've put in my head that if I'm booked on a show, then it means that person that books me is gonna put me where they feel I should be.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay.
I'm not a true, and I'm gonna be very honest. A true headliner is someone that packs out rooms based on their name.
Yeah.
And if you go somewhere and their name is on the marquee and everybody's running to go see them, that's a headliner.
That's a good point.
Just bottom line.
Excellent.
So for me, it wasn't my show, and it was somebody else's show. And they said, this is what they said to me, and this is why I have respect. It was like, JT, hey, we're gonna ask you to do this. Can you? Because they had a host. Speedy was actually the host, and he was like, but hey, can you bring the energy? We
Right
just
from the
want
beginning,
You,
out
we
the
want you to
blocks.
bring the energy right from the get.
So you was strategically placed there. Not
Strategically.
because you were the weakest comedian like normal.
Right.
But
Yeah.
It was strategic.
It was strategic,
Okay.
and I said, that's cool. Is the money gonna be the same?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah. And I was like, cool, I'll go any spot where you want me to be. Because remember, at the end of the day, if my money is right and the fans are having a good time, it doesn't matter to me.
Right. That's
good.
As long as people walk out of there and say, if I go on my Instagram and I say, oh man, I got 35, 40, 50 followers tonight on this show.
New ones.
I'm cool.
There it is.
Because the fans don't care what slot you in. You know what they care? Is you're funny.
Yeah.
And there's been times if you go first, and God forbid that you're funnier than the headline, people be like, hey, you had a great time. Hey, you should have been last. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's,
they do say
I don't
that.
I don't care if it's whoever show is on, wherever they want me to be. I'm super humble. As long as the money we negotiated is correct,
Yeah.
I'll go anywhere.
Remember that show you guys shot? We shot for Amazon.
Yeah, that show in Burbank.
Burbank. So we
Yes.
did a show in Burbank, and I got slotted first. But the reason I got slotted first, because I was black.
Oh, okay.
Look, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm being honest. Remember, we
Yeah.
were talking
Sure.
about it, and I
Yeah.
was like,
That was with Ross.
yeah, with Ross.
Yes.
And I was slotted first. And I was sitting there thinking, of course, in your mind, you're like, okay, why am I first?
Yeah.
So when we talked to my man about it, he said he wanted to be
But
Mexican, black, white, like that, which is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But it's your show.
it's your show.
But for TV, it worked out because in TV, if somebody's watching a show, that first 2 to 3 minutes is what keeps them or lose them.
It's crucial.
It's crucial.
Or they'll just fast forward.
Right. So
Just 1 minute. I'm sorry. I got the 2-minute warning.
Go ahead.
So, but what you said was very, very important, my dog.
yes.
But we have to get into the stuff that you're doing now. I know it's some things you said you couldn't speak about.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
let's talk about what you can talk about.
So
Take your time. Don't rush though.
okay. So I'm writing on a couple of new projects, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry. I'm writing on couple of projects that be Netflix ready right now. And I got
Who you working with? Anybody in particular?
some people. I'm working with some people, some really good people.
Anybody I know?
I think we all know them.
Yeah.
And then I got this movie that I'm on too. It's called, I could actually say this because I got the script on this one. But anybody ever heard of Juwanna Man?
Yeah.
So they got a Juwanna Man Part 2, and I got a part in that as well.
Good, bro.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's kind of I'm not gonna be playing a basketball player.
Oh, you in the gay? He ain't gay though. He's just a cross-dresser.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not gay. He's not gay.
No, I know.
Right.
Man.
I'm just saying. I ain't want you.
Who you talking about, Steve?
Who's Steve?
So just look out, man, for JT Turner. You know, I'm just knocking it. Look. I honestly, like, I'm very humble. I'm like right here. Like, I tell people, like, the comedy game is a marathon. The entertainment is a marathon, and you could be hot today and be nothing tomorrow. So you got to stay humble, and I embellish anything that God provides me with in this entertainment business because there's a lot of people that aren't. I had a guy, real quick, and I know we got 1 minute. I had a guy tell me, JT, how long you been doing comedy? And I was like, man, and I think I gave him 14 years. He was like, 14 years? Dang. And when you gonna blow up? You know what I mean? Right. You still ain't blew up. And I was like, man, there's levels in this. And I was like, you know what? I was like, how long you been working at the warehouse? And he was like, about 14 years. I was like, what you doing? Oh, I'm still in shipping and receiving. I'm like, dang. When you gonna blow up?
When
you
gonna
be right? You gonna be the manager or something? And he was like, man, shut up. So for me, this is the philosophy is enjoy the process. Be thankful for what you have. The thing is, you got to be ready. So you got to continue working on your craft, continue being positive, because if it's meant to be, your name will be called. And I'm so humble that I know that everybody ain't gonna make it. That's why I have a different look out. My vision for success in comedy or entertainment is different. You know, I don't have to be. I'm not trying to be the funniest man in the world. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is be the funniest person I can be to make people laugh. That's it.
Like that. Can you? That's true, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, can you give everybody your platforms where they can reach you and stuff like that?
Appreciate you. You can the best place is Instagram, but it's JT Turner Comedy on everything. You know, JT Turner Comedy, JT Turner Comedy. So I like Instagram better. I'm really interactive with my fans on Instagram. We got a lot of skits coming up too. Oh yeah, I'm working on another platform where we're doing skits. So like every week, I'm gonna have new skits on my Instagram. So that's why I'm telling everybody to go to Instagram. So yeah. So JT Turner Comedy.
I did see a skit when you was buying a car.
Oh, okay,
I saw
cool.
that skit. So
Like that. Right,
I've got the wrap up sign, and I know we can go on and on, long as the day is bright. But also remember, I got my boy Kevin Davis here. You can always follow him at Kevin Davis, the Marine of Comedy. Right. And also, please remember, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. And remember, please don't share your 8x10 dream with somebody with a 5x7 mind. My name is Raheem Mitchell. I want to say thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again next week. Peace. God bless you.
All right. I like that.
Let's talk about it, talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That girl from LA and that